my next question. Carlos King we know Carlos King. I don't have to give him an introduction, but he recently was talking about how for the second time, he's heard rumblings about the Real Housewives of Potomac getting together before they start filming the seasons to plot like a takedown or come up with these storylines to really just go in on someone. You don't have to name any names, but I'm curious, have you ever caught someone in your own cast before you actually started filming or caught wind that something was coming your way and that they were plotting to wait for the cameras to be up to bring it?
Oh, 100%. This whole season that you're about to watch right now, this season that you're watching right now, so far to me, like if you're a viewer, I think it's a little confusing. And I think that you don't have you don't have full clarity. You guys cannot really tell. I know Joe's upset, right? But you don't really know why. Like he's always upset about the family that he's not close, right? But something's a little different this time, right? Like it seems a little deeper. It seems there's so much that you guys don't know yet. And a lot of the reason is this was all plotted before the show started. So we do have a group that did do that this season. They start talking about it and then they wait till the end. They act like they're going to do nothing with it. It was very calculated. It was very planned. And they wait for the finale to kind of throw the bomb, right. And it's like, to me, that's not authentic. That is calculating. That is not, we're all supposed to be together. We're supposed to give our opinions. We're supposed to see, I'm not into the housewife shows that's like, let's dig up the facts. I have a lot of dig ups that I can do on every housewife. We all have shit from our past, right? There's a million things on everybody and everybody's husbands. But and I have a laundry list of things that I haven't announced yet. Because for me, it's playing dirty. For me, it's like, no, let's put a group of successful, strong-minded women in a room and have a conversation about something or have a drunk night or have this or have that and give our opinions and see what happens. Why do I give a shit who you dated when you were 14? I don't give a shit, right? It's it baffles me when these people are I'm just baffled over it sometimes. And even for me, I'm well, I heard that you did this and this, but I don't really give a shit. I want to talk about what we did yesterday at dinner and why you acted like a bitch yesterday. Right. So it's they lose me a little bit with digging from the past. And it's where I will lose in a way because I don't play that game because I'm not even interested. I have so much going on. I don't give a shit. I'm not trying to take anyone's life down. And I think the housewives who play that way and don't do here and now,
right,
it never turns out right for them. That's how I feel.
That makes sense. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. The calculated, it doesn't always work.
Obviously there's definitely a good amount of housewives it's good for you to write schemes. You're scheming up your little storyline. You're something, but I don't know. So for me, I don't do it. I don't do it. So.
No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And I think that also contributes to your longevity on the show, to be honest with you. But I did want to ask, because I asked my community, or I told them we're going to be having this interview today. And I said, do you guys have any questions? And if they're appropriate, I'll ask. And they gave me some questions and I'm just curious to pick your brain.
Okay. Go ahead.
They wanted to know, how long can these feuds go? Maybe even this family. Let's use you, Joe, Teresa, since we're family. How long can these feuds go when you're all involved before you decide, you know what? I'm walking away from the show, from all of it. I just have to kind of wash my hands of it. And when I saw the question, I'm like, well, they get breaks. And even though they're not long breaks, at least you get some sort of break. So if I'm running a marathon and then I get to stop and have some water, it kind of gives me a little bit more stamina, right? Or no?
100% that you are 100%. And by the end of filming, when you get to that point where you're at the finale or it's the end, you're even to the cameraman who I love so much. I'm get the fuck out of my house. No, you need them to go. Everybody needs to just get out and you need to regroup. The problem with Jersey this year has been it's been nonstop, right? It just keeps going. The drama on Instagram went all season long, the lies, the whatever went on was there was no break. And sometimes I don't think that's beneficial even to the show or to the fans. You want to miss us for a minute, we'll be back. But some of the girls on my show just feel like it's so important. Like they just drag the drama through the Twitters and the Instagrams and like keep it going, but it makes no sense. It's like all off camera. And it's like, you're not getting paid for this, girlfriend. No, nobody paid for it.
I was about to say the check already cleared. You can get off of Twitter, Blue. We're good.
Thank you. Like the check is cleared. Sit down, enjoy your husband for a moment, go get a cocktail with like your friends, your fam. Like I like run for that moment. I'm like, peace. Like I run to go back to Envy and to get back to like what I love. My pot. It's not that I don't love the show, but to me, it's work, you know, it's work. And it's like all this extra off camera. I don't even think that the fans appreciate it because it's super confusing. It doesn't coincide. Like a lot of what I read, the negative for me, I'm just talking about me personally. A lot of the negative I read about myself, right? It's so false and crazy. And then when you watch the show, none of that is happening. So it's like the fans have to be so confused because it's like what they're reading and expecting and then what's real are two totally different things.
I mean, it's happening more often than not lately, actually. But yes, absolutely. A few other fan questions, and then because I know you're super busy, I wanted to do like a quick speed round with you and then get you off because I know that you have lots to do.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. Another fan asked, do you and Joe personally, when it comes to any of like drama in the family or whatever, are there ever moments where you and Joe personally take responsibility for some of the situations that go awry? Is there ever like a moment where you're sitting there with your husband and you're like, you know what, we could have done this different, and maybe if we wouldn't have done this, that wouldn't have happened that way? Or is it always just like
No, 1000%. We are self-reflecting majorly. Like we sit down often, a lot of times, and I'm like, you know what? Especially when you watch things back, I'm like, I understand even why your sister feels like this. Like I see the way it came off. I can see how even someone in her ear or in Jennifer's ear or this person, Margaret, whoever, presented it to them and it makes it look so wrong, right? So yes, there's so much that I need to take accountability for. I'm not perfect by any means, never have been. I don't think I'd be on the Housewives if I was like Little Miss Perfect, right? So I know there's things I do wrong. I know Joe knows for sure he's not perfect. He's the first one to admit it, but it's like we are who we are. That's the thing. We show the good and the bad, and we totally take accountability that we've contributed to the mess of, you know, what a lot of the family drama is. We all have. And I'm never going to sit back and say, like, and as frustrating as it is for me to watch other people not take accountability a lot of times, I definitely do. Joe and I, especially when we're alone, it's like pillow talk. And I'm like, yeah, I see that, like, you know, what we did wrong here and we would have did it different. But I feel like that's what these shows are. Like, you don't want to see a bunch of perfect people. And I already get enough heat for not being a crazy person, right? For not like having major drama and like trauma in my life. So it's like, trust me, there's no way you're staying on a show on reality TV for 13 years without having some things you do right and some things you do wrong, right?